All right, a big wings up this morning, and welcome to all you Golden Eagle fans and all the media present today. What we're doing now is taking off toward the future of Tennessee Tech athletics. Today we welcome a new leader who describes himself a lot like we all describe ourselves, a competitor. And what he saw in us and what he saw in our students and our leadership, he simply calls want to. We want to be here today. We want to celebrate. We want to talk Tennessee Tech sports day and night. We want to cheer at our new football stadium, and we want student athletes to be proud to be Golden Eagles. And most of all, what do we want? To win, right? So before we meet the new AD, let's take just a moment to think about what Golden Eagles represent in nature. Strength, power, courage, vision. We can match that, right? We're Golden Eagles, bold, fearless, and confident. And Golden Eagles also have hunting prowess. We can match that energy too. We are constantly in pursuit of winning and a great student experience. Okay, this is free. Here's your fun fact of the day. More Golden Eagles have been counted in the state of Montana than in any other of the lower 48 states. Montana is full of Golden Eagles, and they are comfortable migrating across the mountain ranges. But today, one Montana resident is breaking formation. He's bringing a family, a reputation, and a track record to the South and to Tennessee and to Cookeville and to Tennessee Tech. Today, one Golden Eagle has flown home. It is my awesome pleasure to welcome President Phil Oldham as he escorts Montana State's former Deputy AD and Tennessee Tech University's new Director of Athletics, Casey Fox.
Well, thanks, everyone. It's such an honor for everybody to be here today. And I know some of you made a special effort to be here for this, and we greatly appreciate it. It's a very exciting day for Tennessee Tech athletics and for Tennessee Tech University overall. I don't have to tell you that the world of college athletics is changing very rapidly before our very eyes. We all see it. We all understand it. It's very evident. Whether it's transfer portals or name, image, and likeness, collectives, agents, player contracts, revenue sharing, the list is pretty lengthy and continues to expand. Some of us may not like those changes, and we may have questions about them, but clearly they're here now and they're here to stay. And yet, with all that uncertainty, college sports has never been more popular than it is today. This college sports is a uniquely American enterprise. Colleges around the world don't compete in sports the way we do here in the United States. This is a very special thing to us, particularly here in the South. We love our college sports, and we love to participate. It makes us all better. While some may still question the role of athletics on a university campus, it is hard to ignore the positive impact that it can have on even the most elite universities in the country. Nothing animates a campus like successful athletics. Nothing creates a culture of competitive success like winning sports teams. Nothing builds more pride on a campus and within the community like championship sports. And probably most importantly, nothing teaches young people the value of work ethic, resilience, discipline, teamwork, healthy relationships, and good communication like competitive athletics. Tennessee Tech believes in winning athletic programs because these are the values we want all of our Tennessee Tech students to have and develop. It should be obvious that we are investing heavily in the future of Tennessee Tech University. Over the past decade, we have invested approximately $750 million in capital improvements on this campus. We continue to add new, exciting academic programs to meet future workforce opportunities as we continue to expand faculty-driven research on this campus that solves real-world problems. We're also investing appropriately in athletics and athletic facilities. You can look across the parking lot at New Tucker Stadium now coming out of the ground and begin to feel the momentum and enthusiasm around that. We've put artificial turf in both baseball and softball fields. We've put in video boards, expanded practice and training facilities, expanded coaching and support staff positions, and added more scholarship support for student athletes. Yes, make no mistake about it, we intend to win championships here at Tennessee Tech, but it's even bigger than that. It's strategically important for the future of this campus, for the future of Tennessee Tech, to increase enrollment beyond 15,000 students. And quite honestly, we will not be able to achieve that without nationally successful athletic programs. It's critical. In the words of the great contemporary sports philosopher, Terry Bradshaw, when you've got something to prove, there's nothing greater than a challenge. Tennessee Tech has something to prove, and we have a challenge. That brings us to where we are today. It's a new day in college sports. It's a new day for Tennessee Tech athletics, and we need a new leader to get us where we need to go. I want to thank our partners at Collegiate Sports Associates, Drew Turner and Will McGillis, for their help with this search process. They were fantastic to work with and did a tremendous job bringing us an extremely competitive, very strong pool of candidates to interview along the way. To meet the unique opportunities at Tennessee Tech, however, one stood out above the rest, and that's Casey Fox. Casey Fox is the right guy at the right time to get us there. Casey has been there and done that already. He has 25 years of extensive experience working in and leading nationally successful programs at Washington State University, University of Utah, the U.S. Naval Academy, Eastern Washington, and most recently, Montana State University, serving as Deputy AD for External Operations since 2021. Casey has led efforts at Montana State to construct a new $26 million indoor football and track facility, as well as a $20 million athletic complex. Casey's also led efforts to double annual giving and achieve record attendance levels at sporting events. Throughout this search process, I can tell you, I talked to a lot of good people, a lot of really good leaders in sports, but I have become a big believer in this gentleman, Casey Fox, and I want to publicly thank Casey and his entire family for believing in us, for believing in Tennessee Tech. I'd like to now introduce his family real quick. Let me introduce Casey's wife, Heidi, and their sons, CJ and Bo. Why don't y'all stand up real quick? And now it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you for the very first time Tennessee Tech's new Director of Athletics, Mr. Casey Fox.
Wow. Lee didn't prepare me for this. You said there weren't going to be anybody here. Wasn't going to be anybody here today. Hold on, I got to get my cheaters out. Unfortunately, as you age, you can't see anymore. Good morning. First, I want to begin with a few important thank yous and acknowledgements. First to Dr. Oldham, his Chief of Staff, Lee Ray, and the Board of Trustees. It's a tremendous honor to be entrusted with leading the athletics program here at Tennessee Tech. I'm truly grateful for your confidence in me, and I'm excited.
There must be 50 ways to leave your lover.
Director of Athletics, Mr. Casey Fox.
Wow. Lee didn't prepare me for this. You said there weren't going to be anybody here. Wasn't going to be anybody here today. Hold on, I got to get my cheaters out. Unfortunately, as you age, you can't see anymore. Good morning. I'm one of them. But you do it with grace and strength. You are our everything. And I wouldn't be here without your love, encouragement, and unwavering belief in me. So thank you. I also want to recognize some incredible people who've shaped my professional journey. To Drew Turner, who led the search with Collegiate Sports Associates. Thank you. From the beginning, Drew believed my background and experience aligned with what Tennessee Tech was looking for in its next athletic director. I appreciate you reaching out and encouraging me to take a closer look. To Leon Costello, who gave me an opportunity at Montana State 8 years ago. I'm incredibly proud of what we've accomplished together. I'm incredibly proud how we did it. We set out to elevate Bobcat athletics, and I believe we did just that. I'll miss Bozeman, and I'll miss the Bobcat family dearly. To our senior administrative team, Tice, Jamie, Sean, Karen, Andy, and Don, thank you for making me better every single day. I'll especially miss our Monday morning meetings. A special thank you to the late Stu Starner. Your mentorship, wisdom, and many of our conversations meant the world to me. I miss those every day. To the mentors and colleagues who guided me through my career, Jim Sturk, Bill Moose, Steve Robatello, and the late Pete Isaacson during my time at Washington State. Chris Retrieve at Utah, Tim Curran, Chet Gladchuck, Jack Lengel at Navy, and especially Boo Corrigan, who had more impact on my career path than he'll ever take credit for. Thank you. I'm always grateful for what you did for me. To my late in-laws, Lou and Trish Cosner, we miss you every day. You were constant supporters of me and my career, and I thank you. And finally, to my parents, Bob and Varga Fox, who are back home in Walla Walla, Washington, my hometown. Thank you for the foundation and love that you brought for me and for everything you continue to do to our family today. Okay, I got through it. I'm incredibly excited to be here today and talk about Tennessee Tech athletics and the vision we have for this program. Just before this press conference, I met with most of our athletic staff and to outline our expectations moving forward, and I kept it simple. The expectation is to win. Win in the classroom, win on the field, win in how we serve our community, win in how we fundraise, how we lead, how we represent Tennessee Tech. Our goal is to be leaders in the conference, in competition, in academics, in revenue, and in impact. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe that it was possible. I also laid out the core values that are going to guide us in my time. First and foremost, the student-athlete experience. We'll create an environment where the student-athlete experience is a foundational pillar of the department. College athletics should give young men and women a chance to earn an education while competing at the highest level. Our job is to help them grow into productive, confident young adults. Next is teamwork. We'll work together as a diverse group of individuals united as one team. Our approach will be collaborative and integrated into campus life. Athletics should be a positive ambassador for this university, one that helps strengthen alumni connections, campus pride, and the student experience. Achievement will relentlessly pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in the community. Achievement will be more than a goal. It will be part of our culture. And last, commitment. We will stay committed to a vision grounded in integrity, respect, and diversity with a drive to be great in all we do. Those 4 core values are going to drive what we do within this department and how we operate each and every day. Now, so when Drew first contacted me about this position, the first thought that popped into my head was, there is no way I'm moving to Tennessee. But I took a closer look at the role, dug into the numbers and the potential, and something started to click. As I talked more with President Oldham and heard his vision for the university and where athletics fits within that broader mission, I became increasingly intrigued by the possibilities here. I saw the untapped potential at Tennessee Tech. What ultimately convinced me was my visit last week, especially the lunch with 4 of our head coaches, Matt Braga, Kim Rosamond, John Pelfrey, and Bobby Wilder. We spent nearly 2 hours together, and I could feel their passion, their energy, and their hunger for greatness. That's when I knew I wanted to be part of this. I wanted to help build something special right here in Cookeville. And I'm ready to get started. Let me be honest, this won't happen overnight. But just like we did at Montana State, we'll build it piece by piece, win by win. At Montana State, we grew from a belief. We delivered over $50 million in capital projects, won 13 conference championships, made 27 NCAA championship appearances, and sold out football for 5 straight years. That kind of success doesn't come from luck. It comes from belief, alignment, and relentless effort. And I believe with the people in this room, the leadership across this campus, and the passion of our student athletes and supporters, we can build it here at Tennessee Tech. I want to thank you all for your warm welcome, your support, and most of all, your trust. Wings up. Stay here.
Thank you so much. We'll have a short question and answer period, and thank you so much for our media partners coming today. Certainly feel free to ask questions. We'll have this microphone around so that the streaming can pick up the audio. So if you raise your hand, Shannon would be happy to bring this to you so you can ask your question.
We've pre-screened all the questions, right?
Okay.
First of all, welcome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Philip Gibbons, Cookeville Communications, your radio provider for Tech Sports. My question is, let's talk about the NIL, the Golden Eagle Collective. I'm so grateful that we have a collective now. I think it's starting to pay dividends for us. So how do we take the collective to another level? And can mid-majors even compete and win without a collective?
Yeah, boy, it's changing every day, isn't it? I think that's where we're trying to find, the new level of what it is, especially at this level. I think what we need to do is set a goal and be relentless in going after that, whether it's in the collective, whether it's in RevShare, whatever it is moving forward. What do we need to do to compete at the highest level in the conference? That's the goal. So, I think we need to sit down with our coaches, figure out, what it is that we need to get to, what they feel like it's going to be competitive. And listen, it's just the new reality of what's going on. If you're good, you're going to lose some people. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'll give you a quick story is this past January, after the heartbreak in the FCS National Championship game, we lost by 3. That one will probably haunt all of us for the rest of our lives. The next day, we're flying out and we're sitting, waiting to get onto the tarmac to fly back to Bozeman. And while we're sitting there, one of our best players went in the transfer portal while we're on the buses. It's the reality of what we're dealing with. Because of the success of the programs, that's going to happen. But what we want to do is get to a place where, hey, yeah, if you have some special players and they've got that opportunity, you wish them well, you thank them. but we want to keep the ones that are that we feel like we can keep, and provide for them, and make them not even want to look. I think is the best way. Who knows what the new reality is going to be? I think we've got to be nimble, and we've got to adjust on whatever the new whatever is going on. If there's going to be new rules, hopefully, and some guardrails going up a little bit. I think that's the most frustrating part of it is everyone's just flying by the seat of their pants right now. And so, get to a place, hopefully, in college athletics where we know, what game we're playing. It feels like we're just all throwing whatever we can at the wall and hoping it sticks right now. But I think first and foremost, we need to have a plan. We need to sit down and we need to have a plan and work with our coaches on what that is and how do we achieve that. Thank you. Yep.
Coach, how would you evaluate Murray State's recent success in NCAA baseball to the future of mid-majors?
Well, first, I'm going to correct you a little bit. I am not a coach. Nobody wants, I'll give my advice. Nobody wants it on the sideline. Usually I give it unsolicited pretty loudly at times. I think, obviously from Murray State, it's great for college athletics. That's what it's about, right? I think that's what the NCAA basketball tournament has been built on, is mid-major success and the Cinderella aspect of it. I'd hate to see that go away. I think, the tough part of it is how do you sustain it? How do you sustain it at a place like Murray State? You're going to have those teams, right? You're going to have those that pop up, and everybody in the world will be rooting for you. That's why you see it at the NCAA tournament, the underdogs, that everybody turns on the favorite, in those arenas when the underdog can keep it close and keep it, keep that opportunity to win. I think you saw it with Murray State. Everyone was rooting for them. Unfortunately, they ran into a buzzsaw with the kid who, threw the no-hitter against them. But I think you can look at them as an example of how to build a team. The bigger issue and what's really going to be hard is how do they build a program? How do they build it so that next year they could come back? And that's, I think, what we've talked about here is, our programs, we talk about it all the time at Montana State. And that's what we're going to talk about is not just having 1 year of success. That's great. But how do you come back the next year and have success? How do you come back the following year? Knowing you're going to have to adjust, knowing you're going to, that's college athletics, right? You lose part of your team every year. That's just the tradition. They graduate and they move on. It's a little different with the transfer portal and things, but, how do you do that? How do you provide the resources? How do you provide the infrastructure and the support so that if our coaches do lose some of that we're able to go and replace that as well? So that's I think the bigger issue is, you want to be the Murray States of the world, and it's great, but you want to be able to do it year after year as well.
Congratulations. Ben Craven with the Herald Citizen newspaper here in Cookeville. I'm sure you've seen, some of the current plans for, expansion, like with the football stadium and stuff like that. What are some of your opinions on those plans, and do you have any early ideas of your own?
Yes. I think, when I came last week, there were really two things that stood out in terms of capital projects. I think the project over in baseball needs to get finished, and I think that can be achieved. But probably the bigger one is getting a new home for football, getting them out of their temporary structures that they're in. I think that we need to sit down, myself, Coach Wilder, the president, and put together a plan. I know that there's plans out there, but we got to figure out if that's still the right thing, or is it something different. But we've got to get football, housed a home. And that is a priority right now, I think, in my mind. Figuring out how we go and do that. Bobby Taylor and I are going to be hustling as he introduces me around, and each and every one in here. It's coming, and we're going to come and see you guys and ask you for your support. So, start thinking about, how big of a check you guys all want to write for this program, because we're going to win, and we're going to need everybody's help to succeed. And it starts with projects like that. Obviously, things have evolved and changed, with the rev share and in the world of NIL. And that's all important. We've got to up our game. We've got to up our game in fundraising, in revenues, ticket sales. And so we're going to have to push and continue to push to do that. But at some point, right away, those kind of projects stand out.
All right, one last question. Anyone have one? Yes.
So when you came to Montana State, I don't know exactly what the records were, athletically everybody was, but it certainly zoomed up during your tenure. So how can we transfer that to Tech? What did you do there to turn things around and that hopefully transfers to us?
Yeah, good seeing you again, Thomas. I apologize. He texted me earlier in the week, and I just got so busy. But he did follow up with a phone call. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's very similar to when I arrived at Montana State. I think there was probably a little bit more of a foundation. They had more success in football, but they had kind of hit a plateau. The year before I got there, football was 4-7, and they were 5-6 my first year there. And so, it's about opportunity and capitalizing on success. Year 2 we went 7-4, slipped into the playoffs, never looked back. The football program's made the playoffs every year since, including the semifinals and 4 out of 4 times. Getting to the FCS championship game twice. It's wanted to win one of those, and I think they're going to. Potentially we'd like to block that and win it ourselves. But it's investing into the programs, in knowing how to invest. I'm going to be honest. We got to get football right here, and football is right in winning and working out and supporting it. Then that just brings in more revenue that we can share for all of our programs. Cliches are cliche for a reason, but a tide raises all boats, and that's how we did it at State. Investing into the programs the right way, investing into people, first and foremost, investing into capital projects that are strategic and make sense. But that's what we'll do. We'll do it as a team here. It's going to be a team effort, not only within the department, but within the university. We can't do this alone. We're not a big enough department here to be out on our own and just run with it. We need the support of the president and the support of the university as a whole. I think that's how we're going to have to do that is together.
Okay, we have one last piece of business. Austin has been shopping. He's using Dr. Lynn's credit card, I believe. So I think the two of you to bestow some gifts upon the family. Welcome. I just want to say on behalf of the university that we want you to experience Southern hospitality and always know that you can call this home. So you don't care to have a photo up if you
Oh, sure.
come up and
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way to carry it on a plane, but yeah, we'll take care of it for you.
Very nice.
Where do you want us?
Wait, do you want
right.
to put the hat on? Is the hat for you? All right. Should we come here? Maybe come
You want
over
us-
this way a little bit.
Okay, front.
Yep.
All right.
You don't have the podium anyway.
Okay.
I'm
Welcome.
sitting.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right, we invite all the faculty and I see the student athletes you turned out today. Thank you so much. The football fans, I see a lot of here. On behalf of the entire university and our new athletic director, please feel free to come up, have some conversations, get to meet your newest members of your sports family. And as always, wings up.
Got through it. Got through it. Thank you, great. Thank you, great. Holy. Sure.
Cheer and mascot. So we
Yeah, where are you guys?